Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Sarpy County Board of Equalization meeting. It's August 30th, 2022. It's 3:01 p.m. Copy of Nebraska open meeting rules are on the north wall. Today we have all 5 commissioners present, along with our county administrator representing our county clerk and register of deeds. We have Desiree Markowski. Did I say it right?
Close enough.
Markowski?
There you go.
Just go with Desiree. Desiree.
Third time's the charm. Desiree, right?
Yep.
Okay. Welcome. No pressure now, okay?
Yep, I got
There's
it.
a lot of people here. So, if you would, I guess we should announce our treasurers here too. Trace Jones, and I believe, who's here from the, Tim. Tim is representing our county assessor. So, if you would, please silence your phones. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And that's Tim Elder, for the record. I should have said your last name. I apologize. Okay, consent agenda. We've got 3 items. Unless anyone wants to see those moved, take a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Klug, second by Burmeister. Discussion? Please vote.
Ayes 5, nays none, motion carried.
Well, great. All the agenda items having been addressed as published, the Board of Equalization is adjourned, and we'll jump right into our Board of Commissioners meeting. As soon as you're ready, Desiree.
Go for it.
Okay, welcome everybody to the Sarpy County Board of Commissioners meeting. It's Tuesday, August 30th, and all the usual suspects are here. We got a pretty full agenda today, so I want to jump right in with a couple special events here, awards and proclamations. The first one we're going to do today is to present the Sarpy County Sheriff's Office Citizens Recognition Award to Bryan Freel, Darnell Jackson, and Jose DeJesus-Mora. And Sheriff Davis is going to come up and do the honors.
Come on up, Investigator Vollmer. Also, as he said, can you come up, Bryan Freel, Darnell Jackson, and Jose Mora? You guys can just stand over here for a second. I'd appreciate it. Back on June 18th, Amanda was in uniform and she was working at the theater at Twin Creek. She got a call of a female party that was in the theater acting out, standing up, being boisterous, waving her arms. Amanda went in and told her first, you need to sit down. And obviously she recognized that this person was probably on something and that wasn't going to happen. And so as she attempted to take her out, that did not work, and she ended up having to take her down, which she successfully did. But basically, the fight was kind of on. And when you're in those situations, sometimes all you can do is hang on. She did a great job of doing that, but she says that, it crossed her mind several times. She knew help was coming because somebody called for help. Is she going to be able to hang on until help got there? Well, help got there sooner than that because these 3 gentlemen stood up, came up, and helped her subdue this person until law enforcement got there. You don't see that happen all the time. And if you've been in any of those situations, you really, time does not pass quickly. You're waiting to hear a siren or somebody coming, and for somebody to step up like that, I can speak for Amanda. I know she was extremely thankful. The department is very thankful to these gentlemen. We appreciate it, and for that reason, we want to give you guys these awards. So help me congratulate them first. Darnell? Thank you. Yes. Probably more likely down. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir. You're the sheriff. Yes, sir. Wow. Nice to meet you, sir. Nice to meet you. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, I want to get a picture. Amanda, you can go home. Amanda got called out yesterday afternoon and has not been to sleep yet, so thank you very much.
Congratulations, and on behalf of the board, thank you guys. It's pretty neat. We're going to get into the second item, which is comments, and I'm going to start today with the administrator. Dan Hoynes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If you wouldn't mind joining me down here, it's really off the books, probably unauthorized presentation, but today is Thursday? Megan Stubenhofer-Barrett's last day. Is Megan here? She dodged out.
Yeah, she's back.
So why don't you come up, Megan? We're going to do a short roast here. And then I'll just talk a little bit about Megan as she comes up. I promise, Megan, not like the last one, no hugs, because I know you're not a hugger. Do you want to come, Mr. Chairman? Because I think you have an award for us. The chairman's making his way up. For those of you that are not aware, Megan was, I believe, the very first ever full-time person totally dedicated to communications for Sarpy County. That was in 2017, just a few months. We basically onboarded about the same time. And it's been a pleasure to work with Megan. A little bit about her, though, if you don't know, she's a K-State fan, which we did learn to tolerate. And Megan and I, and just probably a bit of a confessional, we're not always here at 8 a.m. in the morning. Sometimes at 8:15 we're rolling in here, but every Monday after a Husker loss, Megan would be one of the first ones in to let us all know and give us her critique of Adrian Martinez's performance and joyfully smile about it. I'm not sure if Adrian transferring to K-State has anything to do with you leaving, because I was really looking forward to returning that favor this particular football season in there. But Megan, just a great cultural fit for us. She has a quick smile. She's quick-witted. She doesn't offend, which made her the ideal person to work 30 feet from me any given day. Very, very interactive, but probably one of the biggest surprises for me is I really selfishly thought that her primary role would be kind of my communication administration, the county board, but almost immediately she reached out. This is a big county, 687 employees, 20 departments, and build a great relationship with the other departments. And if you see some of the work her and most recently Emily have done, I think you took this to a level, Megan, that I couldn't imagine. And so I appreciate it. And so we have a core value award. Megan was part of the design of the core value. So still a little bitter, but thank you, congratulations. And it always, when somebody leaves for something better, we're okay with that. So good luck, Megan.
Thank you so much.
So on behalf of the board, Megan, we're going to miss you very much. You blazed a trail, getting the good deeds and good works of the employees of Sarpy County out to our public, and you did it relentlessly, good weather and bad, and night and day, on weekends, or whenever the requirement called for it. I'm going to particularly miss our spirited political discussions. You know, I lean pretty far right on a lot of things. You may not know that, but I do. And Megan had a way of making me really, really look conservative with her great writing, and I appreciate it so much. She really made us all, and I say all, I mean all us board members, and really a lot of other folks in the county really shine through and look great. So on behalf of the board, I want to give you what has become a very collectible memento. It's the coveted Sarpy County Buffalo coin. So I hope you keep it with you, and every time you look at it, you have fond memories of your time spent at Sarpy County. Congratulations on your new job, and we wish you the best.
I have to make one quick comment because this has for a long time been a debated question between Megan and I. I was in on her interview, and at the end of the interview, I said, "Hey, Megan, how do you think you did on it?" She goes, "I nailed it," with an adjective placed in between. And that's been the discussion as to what it was, but your confidence has always preceded you.
Yeah, what was the adjective?
I've always said effing, and she said, "Oh, I never would have said that."
Thank you. Sorry about that. Thank you, sir.
Dan, any more comments? Any other
Nothing, sir.
announcements? Okay. Commissioner Mixon?
I would just like to say to the three gentlemen that helped our officer, that's what it's all about. I'm glad they did it, and again, any of us in the same situation, I hope we all help. I know we get mad sometimes if you get a ticket from a policeman or whatever, but we're a deputy, and it just, we're all human, and for them to stand up and take that action, it's great. I want to commend them again. Thank you.
Thanks, Gary.
No comment.
No comment, thank you.
Okay. Well, then we'll get right into the meeting. We have 4 items on the consent agenda.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Klug, second by Commissioner Burmeister. Discussion? Please vote.
Ayes 5, nays none, motion carried.
Okay, on the regular agenda, the first item is a public hearing, and it's a resolution number 226 for the Connect Sarpy 1 in 6 road year project program for fiscal year 2023 through 2028. It has a listing of all the projects. Scott Bovick, our Deputy County Administrator, will give us a high-level view, and our Deputy County Engineer, Danielle Geese, is here if anybody has any additional questions. So, Scott.
Yeah, appreciate that, Commissioner. Each year, the county board is required to hold a public hearing before adoption of the 1 in 6 year road program. The 1 in 6 year road program is something that we build on an annual basis in a collaborative manner. Administration, the county engineer's office, Fiscal, giving us our funding authority. But at the end of the day, it's really the board's opportunity to set the priorities for the road projects that we're going to do in the first year of the program and then the next following 5 years. I thought it'd be good to start with a little bit of where we've been, where we're at and where we're going. And so it was about 3 years ago that the county board decided that they wanted to get more aggressive in delivering road projects to the public. And so looking back at the last 3 fiscal year spends, in 2020, $15 million, 2021, $20 million, and then this last fiscal year, about $48 million in expenditures. So about $84 million in projects delivered to the community in the last 3 years. In your project, or in the 1 in 6 year road program, there's a map. I only have this in here to kind of show you the different projects, but also note that in the 1 in 6 year road program is a long listing of the 50 or so projects that we're going to be working on and pursuing in the coming 6 years. So the next 3 fiscal years, as you know, the next 3 fiscal years are fully funded projects, and the last 3 years of the 1 and 6 year road program there's still some funding available, but funding to be determined to be able to fund all that. As you look through these projects, you'll note that we're looking at about a $48 million expenditure in the next this 12 months, followed by $40 million from July 1 of 2023 to June 24, and then back to about $12 million in fiscal year 25. And so it's about $100 million over the next 3 fiscal years. And if you look at the 6-year total from previous 3 to future 3, the county board spent about $183 million on road projects. It's important, I think, to note too that the funding that we use to pay for these road projects is not very reliant at all on the general fund, and so the county receives highway allocation funding. The county receives arterial street improvement program fees. We receive what's called road and bridge buyback funds from the state. We also have private developers that are an important contributor to the road projects that we do, motor vehicle sales tax. So there's a wide variety of revenue sources that we use to put our package together. And the projects that we're funding is funding available after completely funding the county engineer's operations budget and funding any bond payments that we have. So some key projects to go through. I know the board and the public are very familiar with our West Giles project, and Hawkins Construction is the contractor and Olson is the engineer, and it's been a pretty massive coordination effort, and we're actually kind of on the halfway done. And so just a quick update, 180th Street completed this fall. I think actually last week they opened the 180th Street Bridge, and Hawkins will begin on the 192nd Street corridor this fall, next spring, to really get after it. And with that, 180th Street will completely be open from Highway 370 all the way up to Storage Road or to Harrison, basically. Significant development continues to happen around there. I know, if you go out there and you drive the area, you'll notice there's infrastructure in some subdivisions. There's other areas that is vacant land, but as we know, all that property is spoken for and in the hands of developer, and it's just a matter of timing before the continued development occurs. It's about $45 million left to spend on the project. We'll a big chunk of it this fiscal year, and then in fiscal year 24, we'll complete that project. There's about $12 million in there. And then again, part of the funding strategy that we've talked about with this is the importance of developers paying for the road adjacent to their development. And so out of the $90 million total project, I think 15 to 20 million of that's going to be directly funded by contributions from developer partners. Platteview Road Corridor is another high priority for the county board, and we talk about the expressway a lot, but it is a corridor that goes all the way from Highway 75 to Highway 31, and we have such challenges to continue maintaining the pavement preservation and maintenance of the current roadway. We need to look at intersection improvements as the traffic along that corridor continues to grow, some midterm improvements and projects and things that are happening along the corridor, and then obviously continuing to make progress on the long-term vision, which is to have a 4-lane expressway / freeway on that corridor from 75 to Highway 31. We're going to be embarking on the planning environmental linkage phase of the project, which will give us an overall view of the corridor and position us well for funding dollars, which is key because it's a very expensive project, and then continuing with the design and taking those steps forward. Another thing, as you get the drift, we have to kind of do it all, and so we need to continue to make progress on the bridges. I think we have 150 bridge structures in the county, and so the county board a few years ago said we need to prioritize those bridges based on condition and put a plan together to start addressing those bridges. We have a good track record over the last 3 years of addressing some of those top 20 bridges. We just completed this construction season the 168th Street Bridge south of 370 that needed to be replaced. starting in the spring, the 75th Street Bridge south of Platteview, and then the 120th Street Bridge near Buffalo Road will be bridges replaced with culverts, which is cheaper and will last longer. And then next fiscal year, we have identified the replacement and removal of 2 bridges along near Buffalo Road and near 138th Street. Every 2 years, we do a reevaluation of the condition of those bridges, which helps us lay out the bridge program moving forward. And then arterial roads, of course, these are those roads that kind of appear on us that we have to address as development occurs, because we stretch our road dollars further by partnering with the development. So we're constantly trying to figure out partnerships and manage partnerships and making sure that development's paying their fair share and build those roads in a timely manner. Sanitary sewer is available in certain parts of the county. We're going to be expanding sanitary sewer in the southern part of the county, and so the board's direction has been where there's sewer and where there's going to be sewer, we need to focus our efforts there. Some of those other areas that are a little more remote, are unfortunately less of a priority. We have to go where the complementary infrastructure is in place or going to be in place. And then it's really critical, we've made some strides over the last few years to partner with the cities to do better planning for arterial roads, so that there's predictability for them and the developers, and that from design standards and collaboration and cooperation, we're working better together. And so that's a time-intensive kind of process and effort, but it's definitely worth it, and we'll make sure that we get things done sooner at a lower cost for the community's benefit and for developers' benefits as well. And then again, can't emphasize enough the importance of our partners on the funding opportunities. And I think we've done a good job of this. I think there's more potential. So good relationships with NDOT, MAPA, our partner cities. Douglas County we partner with in Omaha on the Harrison Street improvements, development community as well. And so we're being aggressive in getting projects, but we're also being aggressive in finding partners to contribute towards our projects. And we need to continue to do that. And then finally, it takes a team approach. And so it's worth listing all the folks on this slide who play an important role in what we've done in the last 3 years and what we're going to do the next 3 years, and attempting to spend another $100 million in projects. And so, it looks like a big team, but it's not when you look at the scope and the scale of the projects that we're doing. And so just a thank you from me, and I'm sure the board, to all these folks who spend a lot of time in their respective roles making sure that we get these projects moving forward. Again, it's a public hearing. I'm happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Okay. Thanks, Scott. Okay, it's a public hearing. Anybody want to address the board or the public on the road plan? Okay. Then I'll close the public hearing and take a motion.
Motion approved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Warren and a second by Mixon to approve Resolution 226. Any further comments? Please vote.
Ayes 5, nays none, motion carried.
Okay, 6.2 is a recommendation to the Liquor Control Commission for Talus LLC application for addition to their existing Class C liquor license outdoor patio area for a business on 109th and Cumberland, Suites 101 and 103. Jerry Torzon, BHI Companies is applicant. Mr. Sullivan, representing Talus.
Given that this is my third time up here on this, I think I'm just going to shut up, and if you have any questions, I'll answer.
Questions for Mr. Sullivan? Okay. Motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Kaluga, second by Burmeister to approve the recommendation for the liquor license. Please vote.
Ayes 5, nays none, motion carried.
Okay, 6.3 is Resolution 227, adopting the 2023 fiscal year budget for Sarpy County. Bill Conley, Sarpy County CFO.
Good afternoon. As you recall, last week we had our public hearing on the recommended fiscal 2023 budget. This resolution approves that fiscal 2023 budget as was filed with the county clerk on July 29th and has been slightly modified, which was outlined last week. The proposed budget to be adopted is summarized in a one-page exhibit attached to the board resolution and is a total budget of $289,243,819. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have on this resolution.
Questions for Bill? Okay, motion then?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, a motion by Commissioner Klug, a second by Commissioner Warren on Resolution 227. Please vote.
Ayes 5, nays none, motion carried.
Thank you. Okay, 6.4 is a resolution number 228 that authorizes an additional 1% increase in restricted funds. Bill.
We do this every year, and I always have to kind of remind myself and remind you of what we're doing here, but this, the Sarpy County annual budget must comply with a lid on restricted funds. Restricted funds are generally property taxes, payments in lieu of taxes, pilot, state aid, and certain fees. The biggest misconception about the lid on restricted funds is that the lid is not on disbursements, it's on revenue. So the lid on restricted funds is based on the amount of property tax, state aid, a political subdivision can receive each year. So it's really a mathematical calculation. We do it as part of our annual budget filing with the state. So on an annual basis, our restricted funds may not increase by more than 2.5% or the percentage of growth in the county, whichever is larger. However, the county board can increase the restricted funds by 1 additional percent if they pass this resolution. This resolution authorizes the additional 1% increase in restricted funds authority or capacity, and really all you're doing with this is authorizing additional capacity. We don't need that capacity today, but it carries forward, and so it's just something good to do for the long-term financial health of the county. The amount of carryover authority varies from year to year. As I said, it's prudent to approve this additional 1% increase in restricted funds now in anticipation of future needs. As I previously said, the approval of this item does not increase our budget nor our spending. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have on this resolution.
It's basically, it's there if we need it.
It's there if we need it, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Warren and a second by Klug. Before you go, Bill, I just want to kind of throw out a alibi here for not making this comment on the last item, but I really appreciate the work of your team, not only on the budget, but also on the item that we're going to address next. It's been a pretty heavy lift, and you and your staff did an exceptional job. I'm also, I'd be remiss if I didn't point out that I think it's kind of remarkable in a time where everybody's raising people's taxes and we're trying to lower them. Now, we understand that the valuation's increased quite a bit and we don't have any control over that. But being able to make a measurable difference, albeit small, on the county side, I think is really remarkable. I think this is our second decrease now in the last decade, and I don't know if any other organization, political or otherwise, has accomplished that. So, again, I think that's just a testament to your leadership and steering us through that process and allowing us to do good things for the citizens of Sarpy. So So thank you.
Thank you. It's a team. It's a great team I get to work with.
Please vote.
Ayes 5, nays none, motion carried.
Okay, and then item 6.5 is Resolution 230, and this designates $10,707,000 of the America Rescue Plan Act, ARPA funds, for projects known as Phase 4 commitments. And as soon as we get the brief up, Bill, you'll have the floor.
This resolution authorizes the fourth phase of ARPA commitments. As you know, I guess I'll jump to the summary slide. These are included with the agenda item. Just as a reminder, the county again received a total of $36.4 million in ARPA funds in two different payments over the last 2 years. We have come before this board 3 previous times, so 3 phases or tranches of commitments. And this is the fourth tranche. This current list of items is about $10.7 million, and I'll talk about those. Previously, we asked the board for $26 million in total commitments. We've had one adjustment downward, so we really have $25 million of commitment, net commitments that are outstanding. We've spent 14 or 15 million, I think, so far. I'm not exactly sure, but the expenses are starting to come in. So this round of commitments, I'll just walk through these real quick. $100,000, and I want to point out a mistake I made on this exhibit, this first item, the $100,000 for the support for human services, is not operating costs and staffing. That is for true resident aid for rent assistance and other things. So we can note that maybe in the final exhibit, but that's what that's for. The second item is $525,000. Our insurance broker gave us the actual out-of-pocket cost to our health insurance plan for COVID-related medical costs to county employees over the last 18 months. So we're going to cover that amount out of COVID dollars, out of ARPA dollars this next year, and in essence kind of reimburse the county for that, and that'll reduce the county's health insurance costs for the upcoming year. Public safety, $82,000. In the other 3 phases, we had some sheriff deputy vehicle purchases in there, and we just had another price increase recently. So this is needed to fulfill that commitment to purchase those vehicles. The final 2 are infrastructure related. One is to provide $7 million in funding for the sewer agency. They, as you know well, they have an ambitious plan to provide sewer service to the southern portion of the county, and costs are not going down, and particularly they're going the wrong direction, and this will provide at least some assistance to that agency in terms of their ability to continue on with those projects. And then finally, $3 million carved out for a specific road project, the 60th Street project from Highway 370 to Cape Heart Road, which is in the 1 in 6 program that Scott mentioned a few minutes ago, but it was phased out over 4 or 5 years, I think. And so what this will do is it'll allow us to do this really important project sooner and with less cost, because we will do it all at once instead of in phases. And so that'll free up some of the other money for other projects in the 1 in 6 program. And Dan and Scott can address other questions you might have on that, but I would now open it up for any questions you have on this recommendation for $10.7 million of commitments for ARPA funds.
Questions for Bill? Okay. Motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion by Burmeister, second by Commissioner Klug. Any further comments? Please vote.
Ayes 5, nays none, motion carried.
Okay, the last item on the regular agenda is Resolution 231. It's the final allocation of levy authority for fiscal year 2022 and 2023 for our fire districts. Tammy Drucker, County Accounting Specialist, will take us through this.
As soon as I get it up, I will be able to present it. It's not up for now. Oh, okay. Good afternoon. As required by state statute, I am submitting the final levy requests of the Fire District and Ag Society for board approval. The assessor did certify the final valuations on August 20th, and you reviewed the preliminary requests on July 26th. We provided to you the resolution and attachments for your approval. Some of the district representatives are here in the audience if you have any specific questions for them. We are the filing agent only. We are presenting to you the numbers that were presented to us, and we have double and triple checked these numbers. The aforementioned entities complied with their statutory requirements, and those preliminary levy requests were presented to you on July 26th. And the county board is required to make the final levy allocations on or before September 1st. And then once the final allocations are made, the above entities cannot change their allocations except by agreement between both the county board and the governing body of the political subdivision whose levy is at issue. So any questions that you might have, or Kevin, if you'd like to come up and talk?
Or Chief Beatty, if you'd like to come up and talk.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's that every time, and he always says no. Why is
Just a reminder, the bond funds, do those count against our levy authority as well, or are they part of the total?
I'll defer to Bill. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
The answer is no.
Well, thanks. I mean, I don't have any questions, but I do have some gratitude to express for your work on this, and I thank you for that. I also thank the leadership in the political subdivisions known as fire districts, kind of an unusual creature of created by our state legislature, but very fiscal conservative. Really appreciate the downward trend, which I think helps citizens a lot in terms of the taxes they have to pay. So, Kevin, everybody else that's represented here or not here, we certainly appreciate it. And I say that as a citizen, not as a board member. So, thank you. Okay, motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Warren, a second by Commissioner Mixon. Please vote.
Ayes 5, nays none, motion carried.
Okay, item 7, executive session.
For the protection of the public interest, I move we go into executive session to discuss collective bargaining.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Burmeister, a second by Klug to go into executive session. Discussion? Could we vote?
I
Could we
don't
vote?
have a screen.
Okay, please vote.
Who's going to make the motion?
Okay. It's now 4:09 at 3:40. We went in executive session where discussion restricted collective bargaining. Need a motion to return.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mixon, second by Klug. Please vote.
Ayes 5, nays none, motion carried.
All agenda items having been addressed as published, the